Hey guys, I'm Nick, and on today's questions and answers, we're going to talk about flounder. Alright guys, questions and answers is off to a great start. Make sure you guys are clicking that link in the description and submitting your questions. Today's question was submitted by Chris. He lives right here in the Navarre area. He fishes the Santa Rosa Sound and surrounding waterways from a Carolina skiff. Chris asked, when will the flounder migrate back inshore, and what's a good technique for targeting them? So, let's talk about flounders. Flounders spend their summer months up north in our river systems and upper bay systems. Around September, our first cold front, they start migrating south to go offshore. Prior to getting offshore, the flounder are going to show up in the Santa Rosa Sound and surrounding waterways from September through November. It's a fantastic time to target them. The flounder spawn peaks in December in 60 to 200 feet of water. So if you didn't know, they migrate from the upper bay systems out the Pensacola Pass and Destin Pass, and they spawn offshore or near shore in roughly 200 feet of water. We've actually go out there in a kayak and catch them at 60 feet of water on some nearshore wrecks. It's pretty fun, different experience. The weather doesn't always allow for it, but when it does, it's pretty fun. From my experience, locating flounder can be fairly challenging from, say, January to April. The fish come back in waves. It's not as controlled as the fall migration. And a lot of times the fish will come in, they'll stay in the big bay systems, and they'll just work their way north to the rivers. They don't often frequent the sound, and we found when fishing for flounder in the sound in the spring, a lot of the fish we catch are pretty small. Typically they're Gulf flounder. They're usually males, 10 to 12 inches, and not very big. They're really not even worth keeping if you do catch them. When we target the flounder, we prefer to use a 3-inch soft plastic and a 5/16 to 3/8 ounce jig head. That allows us to fish a little deeper. We can fish faster while maintaining, a distance of 6 to 12 inches from the bottom. I know in a lot of the information you read, it's going to tell you to slow down, pop that jig real slow, let it rest on the bottom, let the flounder bite it, count to 10, and set the hook. That works. That's not how we like to do it. Our goal is to get out there. Flounder are very aggressive, so you can fish for them without slowing down. We like to use the extra weight to make sure that jig head maintains a nice little gap from the bottom. You don't want to be too low, you don't want to be too high, or the fish won't come up and eat it. But flounder are very aggressive. If you work a jig that looks like a minnow past it very quickly, it's going to have a reaction. It's going to bite it. Usually the bite is very aggressive. You feel a nice solid thump and set the hook. You have no reason to wait, count to 10, or do anything like that. As soon as you feel that thump, set the hook. Now you're going to miss some short strikes. You're going to miss some small fish. But I'm telling you, if an 18+ inch flounder bites that, it's going to put that 3-inch soft plastic in the back of its throat. It's pretty simple. It's the best way to do it in our opinion. Now you can do that same stuff with live bait. People will Carolina rig bull minnows and drag them down the edge of a bridge or near a drop off. And that stuff's all very effective. We like to use lures when we chase flounder. How to target flounder is a great question. There's a billion ways to do it. There's a bunch of different techniques, different areas to use. Like we talked about, heavy jig head, work the potholes, work the edges of flats. You can still do it near docks. You can still do it near bridges, points, whatever else, structure, rock piles, oyster bars. You're going to lose some jig heads here and there. It's just part of the game. Shouldn't be worried about it. We typically use a matrix shad and ultraviolet. Easy to get the job done. If you guys have any more questions about flounder, comment below. We'll do the best to answer those questions and help you guys out. Hopefully we point you in the right direction and you don't have any problem this spring chasing flounder. Other than that, I look forward to you guys booking your next adventure. And if you have any questions, send me an email at nick@navarrekayakfishing.com.